Alrighty, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, this is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Hairy Bash. This is Hairy Bash number 3. It's the third one of the year. We'll be doing 3 more after this, leading up to the Hairy Smash, which is the big tournament at the end of the year. I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned before, but there is a thread about it on SC2 and basically go see the thread, because yeah, it's basically anybody who gets the top 3 in a Hairy Bash goes on to the Hairy Smash. It's a huge double elimination tournament, lots of prize money, should be awesome. So anyway, this is the Hairy Bash number 3. This is the first quarterfinal. Let's start off introducing the players. So up the top right side of the map, it is Mr. Fenner, who we haven't seen before. He is from Australia, but also from the UK, apparently, from both places, and he plays for Root Gaming. And yeah, he's pretty friggin' awesome, man. Defeated 2 players to get here. Defeated Drow in the round of 32 and Lobo in the round of 16, taking them both 2-0. Just steamrolling on ahead, and now he is in the quarterfinal. So we're going to be seeing exactly how he does. And his opponent, down to the bottom left side of the map, is another Zerg player. His name is Stefano, but he is actually Petrify on the US servers. So this is going to be Petrify. And yeah, I'm just going to be calling him that. So he's from Australia, plays for Silicon Sports, and he got off pretty easy in the round of 32, but did have to take down Drinks a lot in the round of 16. Beat him 2-0, so had a little bit of an easier time than Fenner, only having to go through 1 round. I think there's always people who just don't show up to these things. So he was actually, man, I tell you what, man, Petrify actually dodged a bullet here, because he, the number 1 seed, Pig, and if you've watched the previous tournaments, you probably know about Pig. He came very, very close to winning Hairy Bash 1. He was in the same bracket as Petrify and would have met him in the round of 16, but Pig just didn't show up. Just didn't show up to the tournament, and so Drinks a lot came through on that side again and got owned by Petrify. So Petrify really dodging a bullet. Otherwise it would have been Fenner versus Pig, and it just would have been, oh man, it would have been crazy. And actually, interesting thing about Fenner is Lobo, who he faced in the round of 16, was seeded a little bit higher than him. He was like 8 seed versus 9 seed. So it was obviously a very, very close game between those two, because they're seated so closely. But yeah, Fenner took it out 2-0, so he's definitely got what it takes. Look at this little bastard over here. This is, guys, just all over the place, man. He's got to be hiding over there. It's a nice little bit to hide down there, actually, because nobody's going to be checking that for ages. Here we go, Ling's coming in. Gets seen by the Queen, and is going to try and snipe it, but he might get away. There he goes, Ling speed coming up. But what is he going to do? God, the Queen was just over there. No way he was getting out of there. And actually going for double spine crawlers early on in this game. So does he know something that we don't? I'm not sure, but he does know, or he can probably guess, that there is a baling nest there. He does not know about the baling nest, actually, but yeah, 2 spine crawlers. Bit of a ultra secure sort of play. And he's actually building 6 workers at the moment. Petrify is doing the same thing as well. So I thought Fenner may have been doing that to push out a crazy amount of workers, but it seems like Petrify is doing pretty much the same thing, and he does not have the spine crawler. So maybe he just feels a little bit more, you know, a little bit better about it. We do have a Roach Warren coming out, as well as the double Evo chamber. Very, very standard approach right here. I guess these block off the ramp right there, so you just got this tiny gap with the 2 queens in there. Probably only needs 1 queen to block that, unless there's Lings coming through, in which case he probably needs both. But yeah, pretty good stuff. And Petrify, there we go. Looks like we're going to be seeing some Muta Ling play from Mr. Petrify. He's getting a Roach Warren as well, just to be playing around a little bit, sending some Lings out to have a bit of a look around. And yeah, I don't want to follow that one. I want to follow this one. Damn, the camera's moving fast. You can barely catch up to these guys. They're going to come in, they're going to see the Queen, and they're going to be running the hell out of there. So Fenner got this very, very nice and stocked up. Getting the Roach upgrades. He's got the Roach Warren. Have we seen any Roaches come out of him? Not yet, but it's only a matter of time before he does see one. And there we go. Actually, the changeling getting close enough to see the roach warren, but the lings probably saw it before anyway, so nothing really exceptional that Petrify is going to see until he gets past this, and I don't think he's going to be able to. The Overseer actually going in there. Did not get to scout anywhere inside that base, so a bit unfortunate, but is he going to make a move here? He's going in, taking out a couple of creep trimmers, so that's, yeah, I don't know. He's taken out all the ones over there, so that is definitely going to be shutting down Fenner's creep spread, which I'm sure he's not happy about, but this is the big thing right here, it looks like. Petrify going for that third base. Not super fast, but if he can do it and make sure that Fenner doesn't get to do it, then that's good. He is going to allow Fenner to move out. I don't think there's much he can do to stop him really, because with all of these roaches out and with hydras coming out on the backs of those guys, Fenner is more than able to defend this sort of area against lings, but he's going to have to move fast. There are lings coming around, and they've got a chance to take out this base while it's at low health. Fenner, no choice, has to cancel this. In fact, I don't think he was able to cancel that. I think that just went completely downhill. So unfortunate. And Fenner right now, I mean, he's got to think of some way to get back into this game. He's not really out of it, but that was a bit of a blow there. And the lings, beautiful, beautiful play right here. The roaches just not able to defend. The mutas attacking the roaches. Roaches got out of position. Lings attacking the hydras and the queen. So really, really great play from Petrify, attacking at the perfect location, knowing that he's, well, guessing that his opponent would split up his roaches and hydras, keeping the hydras back to look after the queens, keeping the roaches to go on forward. I'm sure that Fenner didn't do that on purpose, but it was being done regardless, and Petrify definitely made use of it. So he's been playing very, very well so far. But here we go, the Hydra's coming in. I don't think there's enough Hydras to deal with the mutas all that effectively. And the roaches on the ground are starting to fall to Stefano's, to Petrify's massive amount of roaches. So there we go, Fenner suffering a very, very big loss so far in this game. Not having a good time at all, and these roaches are not going to help the situation at all. At all. So there we go. He might win this battle, but he's not going to win the war at the moment. He needs to get something going. His Hydra production not looking that good, but he is building a bunch of spore crawlers all over the place. It's not going to help his third base, unfortunately, but yeah, this game is not looking like it's going in a good direction. We've got 8 versus 26 plus 6 mutas. I don't know, man. I mean, Petrify, he's looking very, very scary at the moment. We'll just see if he's able to roll in here and just do tons of damage. He does have an army advantage right here. There's a spine on the other side, but I don't think that's going to slow him down too much. He's got a bit of a concave here. The queen's getting in, and the queens can do quite a bit of damage. So you're going to see some roaches start to take some serious hits, but man, I mean, there we go. He's let them through the gap, and now they're just bundled in there. It's not really, I thought maybe he was going to start to choke them at the gap, just take them 2 or 3 at a time, but he did not do it. Maybe could not do it with the amount of roaches he had. And now he's choking them in the gap, using the workers out the front, and he might hold off a small victory here, but in the long term, I don't know how he's going to be able to survive. The muta's going nuts on this. He's got nothing to deal with them, no Hydralists at all, and the amount of Hydras he would need to take on 6 mutas is not going to be possible for him to produce. It's basically, it's all he can do to actually get this many roaches coming out to defend against Petrify's roaches, because Petrify has a much, much bigger income at the moment. 60 over 47, and even these 47, they're currently harvesting okay, but it's not going to be too long before he starts to run out of minerals. He desperately needs a third base. I mean, that goes without saying at this point, that he desperately needs a third base, but he is so screwed at the moment, man. Petrify, look at this, 11 roaches at once, just pumping them all out, starting to get some Hydras, building 2 more bases. He knows that he is in control, and he's keeping the pressure on. He's keeping the macro pressure. Very, very soon, he's going to keep the army pressure on, and is just basically going to go down. I don't think Fenner can jump back at this point. He needs to be able to get a third base and defend it, and I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think Petrify is going to let him get a third base and hold on to it. Here we go. The muta's just going nuts here, man. There's nothing they can really do versus these guys. He needs to get some queens out and mobilize to deal with them, but the queens are hiding behind the spore crawlers. which is not a terribly bad option at this point. So Muta's going in. He's not really worried about losing a couple of Mutas. He's just wanting to destroy as many Overlords as he can, force Fenner to have to build another thing, which he was hoping he didn't have to. There we go, 5 Overlords being built, just to allow for future production of his army. And yeah, there we go. Petrify nearly maxed out. Fenner nowhere near maxed out. This is going to be absolute crushing right here. And Fenner is trying right here. He's doing a nice sort of spread. If they move in, they can try and hold the top ramp. And you got to get some queens as backup. There we go. The Overseer going on, having a look. Is going to get taken out. Queen's up there's a nice spore crawler. And here we go. Petrify moving all the way in. Does get surrounded quite badly. And look at this. Fenner has 2-2 versus the 2-0 of Petrify. But Fenner does not have the Hydras backing up his army. And Petrify just had so many Hydras, 16 of them. And they were just tipping the balance over. I mean, 2 damage on the Hydras. And your opponent doesn't have any Hydras. It's just absolutely insane. I mean, 2 armor on the Roaches is not going to help you in that situation. You are just going to go down. There is no doubt about it at all. So there we go. Game 1. And Fenner, man, taking a loss to Petrify straight off. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys go. I mean, I would say, based on the seeds, that Fenner is probably the favourite. He's 9, Petrify is 17. And it's not a huge difference in seed numbers. But when you start getting up to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals and that sort of stuff, you almost always see really, really high-seeded players. Like when I say really high-seeded, I mean like 1, 2, 3, 4. You always see them getting to the end. So seeing somebody who's not in one of those very high seeds getting through to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals is something you have to remark upon. And I mean, yeah, so Petrify, you did get a bit of a free ride because Pig didn't show up, but he is proving right here that he actually knows how to win these sort of games, that he can get it done, and beating Fenner may jump into the semi-finals and may take on whoever else he finds in there, which is going to be a crazy game, actually. Its next set of quarterfinals is King Kong and Arthur, both very, very highly seeded players. And yeah, that's so if Petrify makes it past this, he's going to have a fight in his hands. But who knows? I mean, Fenner, if he takes the next 2 games, he's still pushing on ahead. I definitely think he can do it. But I definitely think that Petrify has shown that he can do it in this game as well. So we'll see what happens. Game number 2. Stay tuned for that tomorrow. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this game.